With just 42 days until the election, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell promised a vote on you-know-who's nominee to replace Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And it looks like the Senate Republicans have the votes to move forward. Sonny, do Democrats have any moves? Should they be moving, or should they just let the inevitable happen?
I don't think there are any moves left. I think that the Republicans are going to push this nomination forward, and I think they're going to push the nominee through. You know, it took 42 days to confirm Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the Supreme Court, and we're 42 days to the election, and I think the Republicans have made it very clear that they want to do this before the election. So this is going to be a bit unprecedented because there just isn't much time, because we don't know who the nominee will be. But I will say this, you know, this is a lifetime appointment. And so I do think that this nominee must be tested like every other nominee. I remember when I was selected to be an assistant United States attorney, I had FBI agents interviewing people that lived in the building that I lived in when I was 5 years old, okay? So, you know, the suggestion somehow that it's going to be too obtrusive to you know, test the Supreme Court justice for a lifetime appointment is sort of ridiculous. That person has to be tested in the way that every other single Supreme Court nominee will be tested.
Right. So, Megan, what's your take on this? Do you think that this is inevitable, or is there a chance?
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, when RBG died, I was texting some of my liberal friends, it's happening and it's going to happen, and McConnell is an absolute gangster when it comes to the Supreme Court, and I'd never thought it was even an option not to have it happen. Apologies to everyone who's upset over it. I will say, like, moving forward onto, like, historically, there's been a Supreme Court opening 29 times in history. 19 times there was one party in power, and 17 times it has gone through. Now there's a lot of conversations going on about court packing on the left, and it's worth noting that Joe Biden and Ruth Bader Ginsburg were against court packing. I know there's a lot of hypocrisy going around. I know there's a lot of speaking out of both turns. My concern right now is when we inevitably lose the Senate, which is more than likely going to happen, what happens when Democrats possibly are in power and you have, you know, a Biden presidency and Democrats running the Senate? So there's a lot. This may be worth it to Republicans. I'm one of those people that thinks it probably is, but don't think there's not going to be a payout on the other end. One final note, the Coney Barrett rhetoric that's going around right now about her being Catholic and her being a mom of 7, I implore the media to be careful with this. There are 64% of Americans identify as Christians. And when you start talking about Christian women, like we're all commanders' wives in A Handmaid's Tale, which is something that has been happening to me since yesterday, it's going to start a narrative that could, again, be Kavanaugh, and you can radicalize people in the middle of the country and simply vote against Biden because of what happens in these hearings. And I'm very anxious about what's going to happen going forward when it looks like she's going to be nominated.
Right. Okay. What about you, Sarah? Is this the right way to be heading?
Well, I actually, you know, there's a lot of talk of Coney Barrett, and I condemn bigotry of any form, religious or otherwise. But I think that there is a nuance here that is being missed and is often missed in political conversations these days, that this is someone aspiring to the highest court of our land, the Supreme Court. And right now, people are trying to assess her judicial philosophy and whether or not that is influenced at all by things outside of the Constitution of the United States and the federal laws of this land. And I think that's the very point of these hearings. And the concern I have, which again is not anti-religion, I grew up in church, I get it, but these are comments that Coney Barrett has made herself. And I think it's fair game, as Sonny said. People need to be vetted. They need to be explored. And I look forward to any hearings we have for context and explanation for things that were just a little alarming to me. And it's not about, it's where the two meet. It's the intersection of her faith and her ability to adjudicate the law. And I think she herself would welcome questions on that. I mean, she is a highly academic and an amazing lawyer and judge, and she recognizes this country was built on secularism. So I just look forward to hearing some of those questions being asked.
I think we all do, but I also think that the narrative right now is because she has a lot of kids and she's Catholic that it's an issue, as I said yesterday. And again, if we're talking about a person who is a Muslim or a Jewish person, this would not be the same kind of conversation. Again, I'm just here to warn everyone that if you Kavanaugh this and if you turn this into something where women in the middle of the country feel like they're being attacked because they have children or they are Christian, and by the way, at what point did she become endorsed by her entire Notre Dame faculty and get to the point where she is a possible Supreme Court choice that her religion is an issue? And again, I talked about it yesterday. We're talking about it again today.
Hold on. Joy, what's your feeling?
You know, I was thinking about the Supreme Court, because we've lost that battle. Now, I don't want to talk about the Republicans anymore. We've lost the battle. That doesn't mean we've lost the Senate. These are these states that are up for grabs: Colorado, Georgia, Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Montana, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Texas.
Arizona,
if everybody votes, and Arizona, too, that's right. So those states could become Democratic, help the Democrats to win the Senate. And I also was thinking about, if you're a privileged person, as I am, I don't have to worry about the Supreme Court that much, because I'm white, because I'm postmenopausal, so I can't get pregnant, thank God. I happen to be straight, you know. I have money because I've been working on this view for so many years. I've accumulated some money, thank God, also. And I'm not an immigrant. I mean, I am a woman, but because I can't get pregnant, it doesn't affect me as much, thanks to Ruth Bader, who has basically fixed a lot of the stuff that hurt women of all colors. So you don't have to. It's for those people who are not privileged that we have to worry about. That is who you're voting for. It's like you wear the mask for someone else, and you want the Supreme Court to be a steady force in America for someone else, not for you, when you are privileged.
Right.
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 And by the way, Trump was out, talking about how this virus only affects old people who have heart problems. Well, he has no heart, but he's not exactly spring chicken. So maybe he should look in the mirror a little bit, not to mention the fact that 40,000 young people have already died from this virus, and we're up to 200,000 dead people. We're only #2 in the world, behind Brazil, which is basically a country run by a total fascist. So this is the great legacy being left by Donald Trump.
Right. Well, here's what I'll say about, talking about the woman who has the 7 kids. She's up for becoming a justice. You know, you can't really Kavanaugh her, because Kavanaugh was Kavanaugh because he was accused of rape, and people wanted to make sure that wasn't the case. So no one's going to accuse her of anything. So, and I haven't really seen people going after her for her religion, and that's something we should not also spread, because then it becomes a whole other conversation. Listen, as Joy said, I concur. You know, this is a done deal. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not worried about it because, frankly, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I'm going to worry about the stuff that I can control, like making sure people get out and vote. Because, you know, when you're not sure that you can win, you cheat. And so you rush things in, or you say, you know, we're not gonna vote on that now. We're gonna wait 6 months, and then you wait 6 months, and then 3 years later, it's like, no, we got to get it done now. It's too many things, and I can't keep track of all the balls in the air. So whatever happens, somebody's going to get in, and maybe she will remember, or he will remember, whoever it is, that you don't vote on the Supreme Court your religion. You vote on the Supreme Court for the best for the country. That's the job. And I say this every time somebody comes up. I always feel that once people get in that position as a Supreme Court judge, they seem to find not always the answers I want, but they seem to find the law, and I appreciate that. So I'm hopeful that that's what we're going to see, and we can't lose sight of the fact that America